And welcome to Technology Tap. I'm Professor J. Rod. On this episode, we're going to talk about routers, internet routers, and what they do and how they function. Let's do it. Hey, and welcome back. All right, raise your hand if you're shocked that I did 2 in 1 week. Come on. We know we got some shocked people there. Yes, we're doing 2 episodes in 1 week. This is the 3rd one in a month. So, trying to get there for you guys, right? Trying to be better. All right, on this episode, we're going to do internet routers. All right, and so let's start. Internet routers are essential devices that play a critical role in connecting devices within a local area network to the wider internet. You need a router to go out on the internet, right? There are, you can do a level 3 switch, which is an exception, but for the most part, a router will get you on the internet. They serve as a gateway between your home or office network and the broader internet, enabling data packets to be effectively routed between devices and external network. Here are some key points about internet routers. Basic functions. Routers determine the best path for data packets to travel between devices on your local network and external networks, such as the internet. They're using routing tables and protocols to make this decision. Network address translations. Most routers perform that, which allows multiple devices on local network to share a single public IP. This is a critical feature as it helps conserve the limited pool of available IP address. Wireless routers. Many modern routers also incorporate wireless access points, allowing devices to connect to the network via Wi-Fi in addition to wire connections. Security. Routers often include basic firewall capabilities, helping to protect your network from unauthorized access and potential threats from the internet. Port forwarding. This feature allows you to direct incoming traffic on specific ports to a particular device on your local network, which is used for hosting services such as web servers or, for you gamers out there, gaming servers. Quality of service. Some routers offer QoS settings, which allows you to prioritize certain types of network traffic, ensuring that critical applications like video conferencing receive adequate bandwidth. Firmware updates. Regular firmware updates are essential for security and performance improvements. Many routers allow you to update their firmware to ensure they stay up to date. Brands and models. There are numerous router manufacturers with popular brand names like Linksys, Netgear, TP-Link, ASUS, and Cisco, among others. The choice and brand model depends on factors like network size, performance requirements, and of course, money or your budget. Mesh routers. In recent years, mesh routers have gained popularity. These systems consist of multiple nodes played throughout a home or office to create a seamless and robust wireless network, ideal for eliminating dead zones. Yeah, and you can do that. There's a lot of mesh routers. eRoads is one that I like, very popular. And router placement. The placement of your router can significantly impact its performance. It is important to position it centrally away from obstructions and in a location that minimizes interference. Now, we're talking about your router at home. Placement is also important because if you like a friend of mine, he lives in one of those old style railroad apartments, and he has it on one end, and it doesn't reach the three walls it has to reach for where he has his office on the other side. So he actually ended up having to get an extender from Verizon. So placement is important. So we're gonna look out of the 10 functions that we looked at. We're gonna take a look at a couple of them. One of them is basic functions. The basic functions of an internet router is to connect different networks and direct data traffic between them. Specifically, a router performs the following functions, and we're going to talk about 6 of them. Packet forwarding. Routers receive data packets from various devices within a local network and determine the best path for each packet to reach its intended destination. The destination can be within the same local network or on a different network, such as the internet. Routing decisions. Routers use routing tables and algorithms to make intelligent decisions about how to forward data. These decisions are based on the destination IP address of the packet, and routers choose the most efficient route based on factors like network congestions, link quality, and other routing metrics. Next, we could talk about network address translations. I could do a whole podcast just on this. When data packets leave a local network and travel to the internet, the router often performs NAT. This involves changing the source IP address of the outgoing packets to the router's public IP address, not the gateway, the public IP address. This allows multiple devices within the local network to share a single public IP address, thereby conserving the limited pool of available IP address in IPv4. I think I did a podcast on this, but basically means that all your devices in your home or in your office, when they go on the internet, they all go through the same public IP address. The internet sees them as the same IP address, public IP address, not the ones that they have on their devices. That's private IP. They'll see it on the public. Next is packet filtering and firewall. Routers often include basic firewall capabilities to protect the local network from unauthorized access and potential threats from the internet. They can filter incoming and outgoing packets based on predetermined rules to allow or block certain types of traffic. Interconnecting networks. Routers are used to interconnect different networks, enabling devices on one network to communicate with device on another. This is particularly crucial for accessing the internet, as the router acts as the gateway between the local network and the global internet. Network management. Routers are often provide management interface that allow users to configure settings such as port forwarding. Quality of service, QoS settings, and firmware updates. These features help optimize the network for various applications and ensure security and performance. So, in short, an internet router, one of the basic functions, it serves as a central point of communication between devices within a local network and external networks such as the internet, and it makes intelligent routing decisions, handles address translations, perform basic security, and facilitates efficient data flow between networks. Now, let's talk a little bit about internet router security, which is a critical aspect of maintaining a safe and reliable network. Since routers are the gateway between your local network and the broader internet, they are prime targets for potential security threats. Properly securing your router is essential to protect your network and devices connected to it. Here are some important considerations for internet routers. 1. Change the default credentials, right? Most routers come with default usernames and passwords for administrators or administration. It is essential to change these credentials to unique, strong passwords. Default credentials are widely known. You can Google them, right? And make your router vulnerable to unauthorized access. When those Linksys and Netgear routers first came out, people didn't change the default username and password. They kept them admin. So then they kind of learned later on, oh, maybe I should change it. Firmware updates regularly update your router's firmware. Manufacturers release updates to fix security vulnerabilities and improve performance. Check for updates on the manufacturer's website or through the router's admin interface. Strong encryption. Use strong encryption protocols for Wi-Fi, such as WPA3. Avoid using outdated and weak encryption methods like WEP, which can be easily cracked. Network segmentation. Consider setting up a guest network for visitors. This network should be isolated from your main network to prevent potential threats from spreading. Firewall, we talked about that. Ensure that your router's built-in firewall is enabled. Configure it to block incoming connections that you don't explicitly allow, like port forwarding. Disable remote management. If possible, disable remote admin on the router. This prevents attackers from accessing the router settings from outside the network. Physical security. Keep the router in a physically secure location. Prevent physical access by unauthorized individuals, as they can reset or tamper with the device. Yeah, what good is having all these protections if you're going to leave your router out there, right? That doesn't make any sense, right? Regular checkups, periodically review the connected devices on your network. Disconnect any unknown or suspicious activity. Network logs, review your router's log for any unusual or suspicious activity. This can help you detect potential security breaches. And last, security features. Some routers offer additional security features, such as intrusion detection and intrusion prevention. Explore these options if available. Remember, router security is an ongoing process. Regularly reassessing and update your security measures to stay ahead of emerging threats. Additionally, stay informed about the latest security practice and vulnerabilities related to your specific router model. Before we continue, I just want to again emphasize that if you are a school or training session, or a place where you have students, whether it's high school, college, or like a training school, I'm more than happy to do a Zoom call with anyone and pop in, give encouragement to the students, tell a little bit about CompTIA, what what's the exam about, how to get over the hump, you know, alleviate some of the fears that the students may have, share with them clues on how to defeat the exam. I'm more than available to do that. Just send me an email at professorjrod@gmail.com. That's Professor JROD at gmail.com. All right. Internet wireless routers, or internet routers for wireless. Wireless routers are a specific type of internet routers that includes built-in wireless access points to provide Wi-Fi connectivity in addition to the traditional routing functions. These routers have become increasingly popular due to the proliferation of wireless devices and the convenience of Wi-Fi. Here are some key features about wireless routers. Wireless connectivity. Wireless routers allow devices such as smartphones, laptops, tablets, and smart home devices to connect to the internet and local network wirelessly through Wi-Fi. This eliminates the need for physical Ethernet cables for these devices. Dual band and tri-band. Many modern wireless routers offer dual band or tri-band support, providing 2.4 and 5 gigahertz frequency band. This can improve performance and reduce interference in crowded Wi-Fi environments. Wi-Fi standards, wireless routers adhere to various Wi-Fi standards. For example, 802.11c, 802.11ax, that dictate data transfer rates and signal quality. Ensure your router supports the latest Wi-Fi standards for the best performance. Wireless security. Strong wireless security is critical to protect your network from unauthorized access. Use strong encryption like WPA3. Change the default passwords and consider features like guest network isolation. Yeah, you have somebody, you can even do this at home, right? If you have a wireless network like a mesh, you can actually have it for only guests, right? You have your regular wireless, and then you have your mesh wireless, and then use that just for guests. Guest network, many wireless routers offer the option to set up a guest network. This network isolates your primary network and provides a secure way to grant internet access to visitors, giving them access to your internal services. Quality of service. Quality of service allows you to prioritize specific types of traffic on your network, ensuring that critical applications like video conferencing, online gaming receives the necessary bandwidth for optimal performance. Parental controls. Some wireless routers offer parental control features, allows you to restrict access to certain websites, which is important, or set time limits for internet usage for specific devices, which is great, right? You don't want your kid playing PlayStation at 3 in the morning, right? So you could limit that on what time, how often they should be on it. MU-MIMO, multi-user, multiple input, multiple output technology allows the router to communicate with multiple devices simultaneously, improving overall network efficiency and performance. Beamforming is a technology which is focused on Wi-Fi signal directly towards connected devices, improving coverage and signal strength. Remember, Wi-Fi has issues going through walls and floors. We talked about router placement, right? It's essential for optimal optimal Wi-Fi coverage, right? Position the router in a central location away from obstructions, and consider using Wi-Fi extenders or mesh systems for larger area. Not a big fan of extenders, but I'm a big fan of mesh. Again, regularly update your router's firmware, right, to make sure that you're getting the latest security patches and improvements. Security, secure your router's admin interface with strong password and disabling the remote admin to prevent unauthorized access. Right, guest network to keep visitors off your main, and monitoring and management apps. Some routers come with mobile apps or web interfaces that allow you to monitor and manage your network remotely. Choosing the right wireless router depends on factors like the size of your home or office, the number of devices you have, and your specific performance and security requirements. Be sure to research and select a router that best suits your needs. I mean, these things have changed over the years, so make sure that if you can, pick the best one. All right, last topic that we're going to talk about is firmware updates on your device, on your routers. Firmware updates for internet routers are essential for various reasons, including security enhancements, bug fix, and performance improvements. Keeping your router's firmware up to date is crucial to ensure your network remains secure and functions optimally. Here are some important considerations regarding firmware updates for routers. 1. Security patches. Router manufacturers regularly release firm updates to address security vulnerabilities and potential exploits. These updates help protect your network from cyber threats and attack. Failing to update your router's firmware can leave your network exposed to known security risk. Next, bug fixes. Firmware updates also include bug fixes that can resolve issues related to network stability, connectivity problems, and other performance issues. If you encounter problems with your router, updating the firmware may resolve this. And that's usually the first thing with almost any device that you may have, specifically your phone, right? If you have an issue with your phone, the first thing that they're going to check if you're up to date. And I'm not a network admin, I don't work with routers, but I'm pretty sure it's the same thing, right? That the first thing they're going to ask is what version of firmware are you on? Performance improvement. Manufacturers often receives firmware updates to improve the performance of your router. These improvements can include better Wi-Fi speed, range, and reliability. New features. Firmware updates may introduce new features or enhancements to your router's capabilities. This could include improved parental control options, quality of service settings, or compatibility with new devices and technologies, which is why another reason why you should always update. And again, a lot of these things are, not something that you need to think about. It's like automatic, right? And this is something that you should be doing, not only with your routers, but with everything else. Compatibility. As new devices and networking standards emerge, firmware updates can ensure that your router remains compatible with the latest hardware and software. Here's how to update your router's firmware. Check for updates. Log into your router's web interface using a web browser and enter the router's IP address. Right? It all depends on your router, but most of us know what it is, right? Which is 192.168.1.1. Enter your router's username and password when prompted. Then look for a section type labeled like firmware updates or software updates or something similar. Then you download. If the update is available, you typically see an option to download the new firmware for the manufacturer's website. Download it to your computer. Then you update in your router's web interface. There should be an option to upload and install the downloaded firmware file. Follow the on-screen instructions carefully and be patient during this process. It can take several minutes, so no rush. Reboot. Right after the update is complete, your router will likely reboot. Once it's back online, log in again to verify that the update was successful. Backup settings before updating. It's a good practice to back up your router settings. Not how many people really do that. Let's be honest. This way you can easily restore your previous configuration if something goes wrong during the updates. And then automatic updates. Some newer routers offer the option for automatic firmware updates. If this feature is available, consider enabling it to ensure that your router remains up to date. Not bad, right? Always check your router's manufacturer's website or user's manual for specific instructions on updating the firmware, as the process can vary slightly depending on your router model and brand. Additionally, it's important to ensure that the firmware you downloaded is from a trusted source, typically the manufacturer's official website, to avoid downloading potential harmful files. I know Kali Linux on their website, they used to have this thing where you can hash file and you can look at your hash after you download it, see if it matched. All right, that's it for today on this podcast on routers. Again, if you are a school, right, high school, college, even junior high school, teaching it in any kind of setting, technical school, and you want me to come and talk about CompTIA, about my podcast, and how the students can beat the exam, always email me, Professor J Rod. That's JROD @gmail.com. Also, if you want to do, if you're studying for any of these exams, usually the CompTIA ones are the more popular ones, the A plus and the 1101 and the 1102. And you want to do something like on a Sunday, either Zoom meeting or WhatsApp talk live, and we can go over strategies. We can go over what issues you're having. If you're worried about taking the exams, we can go do a practice test if you want. Anything you want, it's up for grabs. Again, but you got to email me, Professor JRod, JROD, at gmail.com, and see if you're interested. I don't want to do it by myself, or one or two people. I kind of want to do it at least 5 or 6 people. That way, we get a good group in there. Let me know. All right. Until the next one. We'll see you then. This has been a presentation of Little Chacha Productions, art by Sarah, music by Joachim. If you want to reach me, you can at ProfessorJRod at gmail.com. That's Professor JROD at gmail.com. I'm also on Instagram at Professor JRod.